Hello, my name is Maverick Madison, and I'm going to be introducing to you guys our global data aggregation project. Firstly, I'm just going to go and cover how the APIs and the data pulling actually works for this project. So, in this project, we have around 4 to 5 APIs that we're using. One being REST countries, we have API ninjas, we have the USGS earthquakes API, weather API, then we have a world happiness report. And so, with our application, whenever the user interacts with the application, for example, like searching for a country, that action will trigger a request from the front end to the Node.js backend. And that backend is basically just where the main logic happens. Instead of storing everything manually, we make a request to an external API to get the real up-to-date data. And so whenever we receive the response from that, we don't just pass it directly through. We need to extract only the fields that we actually need for the application. And this keeps data clean and relevant for it. And so after doing that, we take that process data and insert it into the Postgres SQL database using a query. And this step is pretty important because it allows us to store that data locally instead of making those repeated API calls every time. So the workflow is essentially you have your API request, you receive your data, filter it, and you store it in our database. And so whenever the user makes future requests, we have two options in our application. If the data already exists in the database, we return it immediately. If it doesn't exist, we fetch it back from the API. And so overall, the API is responsible for providing the raw data, and the backend handles transforming and storing that data so that the application can use it efficiently.
Hi, my name is Aiden Stam, and I'll be walking y'all through the core functionality of our project. So I want to start off by saying we chose to use Node Java. Chose to use Node.js because of the fact that it would allow us to interact with the APIs directly, and it's just what we had the most experience with. Node allows you to use JavaScript on the back end as opposed to just for the front end, and insert JavaScript commands into your front end. And so as you can see, we have different functionality like building tables and formatting numbers and making sure that the request country name is properly sanitized for the search. And so all of this was able to be done because of the node that we used. We also used something called tailwind.css to allow for additional prettification of our code. As you can see, this is our country.js file. Um, and then these are some of the other code files that will be included in our description. We ended up settling on the specific theme that we had because we just thought it looked most apt to what we were trying to do, and it looked the best for our eyes. Perfect.
My name is Prisha Nag, and our application is centered around our Postgres SQL database, where the country table serves as the main entity, and all the other tables, such as air quality, weather, population, earthquakes, and happiness, are connected to it through foreign keys. This design allows us to maintain strong relationships between different types of global data while keeping everything organized and queryable. To populate the database, we use multiple external APIs. For example, we pull country and geographic data from REST countries API, air quality and population data from API Ninjas, and got earthquake data from USGS API and weather data from Weather API. All of this data is fetched through our Node.js backend, then processed and normalized into consistent format before being inserted into the database. We also use a script to import and store this data ahead of time, which improves performance by reducing real-time API calls. Overall, this combination of structured database design and external API integration allows our application to efficiently aggregate and display complex global data in one place.
All right, hi, I'm Gunnar. This is the landing page of our project. So first you can see you can search up any country you want. You can see our full list of countries. We got quite a bit. If we go ahead and search a country, you can see we get all the data from all of our APIs. Basically, any information you want about the country, we got it here. You can see air quality, earthquakes, population, happiness. We got it all. And if you wanted to add a country, we could go ahead and make a new country name, and we add it to the database, and we can go ahead and search that again, and it comes up, and we can edit the new country, change the name, and now new country won't come up, and the different name comes up. So that's the CRUD operations, and yeah, that's our project.